Hey everybody, Don Alder here. Just wanted to share with you today this info about this cool product that I ran into at the NAMM show. It's basically a Stompmix mixer. Yes, totally extraordinary little unit with lots of very cool features on it. Now, why would you want to use this for an acoustic guitar? Well, we'll get into that in a minute, but it's not just for acoustic guitar, it's for singer-songwriters, for anybody who wants a portable mixer to take on stage, that they have access to themselves and can treat like a stomp box. And not only that, but it comes, like I said, with some other cool features. So, to begin with, it's called the Elite Stompmix X6 from Elite Acoustics, who you probably know for their battery-powered amps and other very cool little battery-powered PA solutions. So, it's a 6-channel digital mixer, and it's lithium battery with Bluetooth. And like I said, killer features. So to begin with, for an acoustic guitar player, why would you even want to consider something like this? Well, pretty simply, is that these days acoustic guitar players are looking for a wider palette of tonal solutions for their guitar. So typically they'll run 2 outputs, like you can see in the back of this guitar, or you'll have like a baritone on stage, a harp guitar on stage, or a couple guitars, and you want to run through a mixer and control them all on your own. And this allows you to do that. But let's talk just about this whole pickup thing. So typically, right now I'm running pickup number 1 into channel number 1, or pickup 1 into channel 1 and pickup 2 into channel 2. Now this is a magnetic pickup, and this is more of a saddle pickup. And lots of times when you use the 2 pickups together, you could run into phasing cancellation problems, and therefore defeating the purpose of having the 2 pickups. So we'll explain why in a minute, how you solve that problem. But right now I'm going to go to my main mixer you can see here. So I've got some, let me put them both down. I'm going to bring in guitar number 1, which is the saddle pickup. I'm going to turn that off and bring in guitar number 2, which is the magnetic. Now both of these aren't sounding too bad. And the reason why is because I've EQ'd them a little bit. But let's play around with the EQ. So as you can see, you got your mix for 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5/6. And so I'm going to, first off, if I wanted to pan them, if I took a stereo output out of this, you can pan them left and right. But I'm not. I'm just coming out mono. And I'm actually going into a little amplifier. Probably not the wisest thing to be using for this, but just give you the general idea, right? And I've also got an effects pedal, which I'll explain in a minute, which I've got hooked up to the aux ends, which is another very powerful feature for acoustic guitar players. So once again, any acoustic guitar player looking for awesome stage solutions to have a really killer sound on stage and a wide range of colors on stage, this is something to consider for sure. So got my main guitar. I decided, you know what, I'm going to change the EQ on channel 1, but, so I can isolate it, I'm just going to turn off channel 2 for the minute. So there's just my saddle pickup. I'm going to go into the EQ just by pressing the dial once, and you can see it's really easy to get to. And yeah, the menu's small, but it's really easy to read. The font they've used, everything it just pops, so you have no problem with reading it at all. So in the EQ section, I get some options, and it has more of an analog feel than a digital feel, even though it's a digital mixer, which I like this version better. So I like the good old low, mid, and mid frequency and a high and low cut thing. It's much simpler than trying to look at a graph for me, anyways. So let's hear how dynamic these are. Quite a range, that's just the low. So I'm going to get a bit more beef. I'm going to take that mid up just a hair. Let's see. You can dial it out. I kind of like it in. I'm going to keep the high down a little bit, and let's sweep that mid-range frequency. So, quite an option there. And of course I got my low pass. So if you're having all sorts of problems with lower frequencies on stage, this is a quick solution. So I'll take it to 20. So that's just the guitar channel 1. I might go, you know what, so, okay, I'm okay with that. Let's see what channel 2 sounds like. So I'm going to go back to main, take out channel 1, bring up channel 2, and go, okay, well, let's EQ that baby a bit. So I hit it again, and as you can see, I've been playing around here already, so I'll just keep that setting I've got, and then I'll go back to main and like bring them both in together, see what happens. Okay. What you want to happen when you bring in both pickups is to have a greater volume and sound and maybe a bit fuller sounding. That's the whole reason by blending these two. But it's not a perfect world, so a lot of times when you take a magnetic pickup or your second pickup, and if you take two pickups together in general, you could get phasing cancellation issues. And here's where the mixer is really great, because you don't always have the ability to fix the problem with buttons and switches on pickups. So I could go into any channel and change the polarity, which is what you need to do. So let's go to channel 2, and I'm going to go, that's my EQ. If I press it one more, I get a channel insert section, which we'll talk about in a second, but I press once more, I get the polarity area. So if I turn this, you'll hear the difference. I kind of like that sound better, but it's subjective. You can picture whatever one you want better. That might sound a bit more acousticy sounding. I like that more beefier sound. And you also get, I guess, two other controls, one for the decibels and one for the hertz value, which I've never played around with. But so I'm happy with the sound of that now. So I've got my guitar sound for the stage. Still not beefy enough for me, so I'm actually going to go into, let's say, channel 2. Let's go channel 2, and I'm going to say, let's click it one more time, and I'm going to get to my channel insert section, which has a built-in gate and a built-in compressor limiter. It looks like I've actually changed them a little bit already. So I'm going to turn the compressor a bit more, and I'm going to pump up the gain value, gain makeup. So that's giving me a bit more boost right there. I'll go back to my main menu. And you can hear the compression, so I would probably take that off a little bit if you're looking for a more natural sound. But you get a lot of sustain when you do it that way. So now that's a dry sound. So the unit also has built-in effects. As you can see over here, you get chorus, delay, and reverb. And once again, that laid out quite simply. So I'm going to hit my reverb, and I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to add reverb to pickup number. Well, I don't have a microphone in this one, so I know that's got some acoustic properties. So I'll add the reverb on channel 1. I can hear the reverb's got a great sound and reverb to it. And I'm going to add, let's say, a bit of delay. So. And with the delay, you have feedback control, you got beats per minute, you got times, I guess I'm not sure what that one's for, but and then you have the modulation. So, that up. Okay, so we got that going on. I'm going to take it down a little bit. But what I really want to do is add my effects from my external pedal, which is a Specular Reverb made by GFI Systems. So it's got some really great verbs in it, as well as some of those shimmer effects. So, and I do that to the aux sense, and that's what makes this so powerful as well, is that you can hook up any effects pedal you want, return it back to a couple of channels. In this case, I'm returning back just mono to channel 5, and then I can go to the aux control and send that to any of other channels that I want. Versus having to unplug one guitar to plug another guitar back into the pedal. And also in this process, I think they call it maybe parallel processing. I'm not sure if that's accurate in this case, but the idea is I have my dry channel, and then I have my channel 5/6, which can blend in the effects. So you're retaining that dry channel, the integrity of that dry channel. So let's try this out. So I've got the Specular already hooked up. I'm going to go back to my main guy. And I'm going to see that I got my 5/6 volumes up a little bit. So let's go to my aux end and let's see what happens. I'll dial in the aux just to channel 1 only. Aha. Now I've also got an expression pedal, so check this out. Sweet. Now, that is with, so what I'm getting here is I'm getting my dry channel 2 off this, no effects, and I'm getting this with compression, reverb, delay, and the specular reverb. So if I wanted, I can change all sorts of variables, but I could just put reverb only on the channel 1 and do the do the shimmer on channel 2. So you can see how flexible this little guy is. Sweet. Then if I wanted to sing along with that, I would take my channel 3. Yeah, checking, checking, checking. Yes, indeed. There you go. There you go, the Elite Acoustics Stompmix X6. Available March.